And guess what? Now, our people, we don't even know the commandments. We don't even think to open the book. We don't even think that this book belongs to us. You know what I mean? And then what's the result? We got the gang banging. We got the whoremongering. You know what I'm saying? We got the single parent households. You know what I'm saying? We got us filling up the prison. All that is why, breaking God's commandments. That's why where all that comes from, bro. So when coming back, what you got to do? You got to marry that sister, man. If you're serious, bro. Okay, so watch this. In humbling down and coming back to the commandments, this is what you got to do. This is a law you got to keep, right? Watch this. Give me Hebrews 13 and 4. All right.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all.
It's the scripture say marriage is honorable in all. Read.
And the bed undefiled.
And the bed undefiled, meaning when you're married, whatever you and your wife want to do, that's all right with the Lord. All right, read.
But whoremongers.
But whoremongers. All right, guess what? That's when you jump from woman to woman to woman outside, or even having a girlfriend and not being married and laying down with her. Read.
The book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 4. Marriage is honorable in all, and the bed undefiled. But whoremongers and adulterers.
And adulterers, that's sleeping with somebody else's wife, right? But so doing that, boyfriend, girlfriend, having sex outside of marriage, all that falls under the category of adultery, whoremongering, and all that. It says if you move like that, what's going to happen?
God will judge.
It said God will judge you. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that judgment. You know what I'm saying? It's better that you get the warning right now than to feel that, you know what I'm saying, when it's too late. So, you know what I'm saying, and turning back to the Lord. You've been with her for a long time? Years? So what's holding you back from marriage?
Primarily me.
You? Okay, but guess what? That's something that's required of us, bruh. You know what I'm saying? What we dealing with, because guess what? What happens? Give me a Leviticus. Was it 1929? Because what happens when and just trust me, bro. We all lived. You know what I'm saying? And came from different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know what I'm saying? We heard these things, and then brothers got married and stuff. You know what I mean? And then like myself, you know what I'm saying? I ain't married, but guess what? I ain't dealing with sisters like that. You know what I mean? So watch this, because when we do that, let's say, okay, you've been with her for a minute, and then all of a sudden you break up. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to be alone, so now I need to, you know what I'm saying? Now you go out, you might go out to the club, this and that, holler at something, and now you take that home. You know, she might move on and meet somebody, and now start, you know what I mean? What is that doing? What is that causing in our community, within our nation? Watch this.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore.
That's what happens. You know what I'm saying? That's what happens with boyfriend and girlfriends. I work at a school. You know what I'm saying? And you see it starting out. Kids doing boyfriend and girlfriend in 5th grade and 6th grade and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this is my sweetheart from 7th grade. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that's not how we're supposed to be moving. Right. Because who has the highest rate of single parent households? It's us. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that becomes from the way we've been living. But guess what? All that goes back to us being destroyed, bro. All this stuff that you see right here, it all comes directly from breaking God's commandments, bro. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Now, our people, we don't even know the commandments. We don't even think to open the book. We don't even think that this book belongs to us. You know what I mean? And then what's the result? We got the gang banging. We got the whoremongering. You know what I'm saying? We got the single parent households. You know what I'm saying? We got us filling up the prison. All that is why, breaking God's commandments. That's why where all that comes from, bro. So when coming back, what you got to do? You got to marry that sister, man. If you're serious, bro. You know what I'm saying? If not, you got to leave. You know what I'm saying?
Read that. The book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 16. And if a man entice a maid,
It says if a man entice a maid, meaning what? You holler at her, you spend a little bit of game, okay? She's enticed, right?
that is not betrothed,
She's not betrothed, not engaged, right? To be married, right? Read.
and lie with her,
And then you go and have sex with her, right? Read.
he shall surely
It says you must
endow her to be his wife.
You gotta marry her, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what you gotta do. You know, so yeah, bro, do that, man. You know, because guess what? You got kids? You got kids, right? Okay. All right, because guess what? You don't want to be that. A lot of the examples that our children see is that single parent household. Seeing a single mother having multiple men running in and out of the house.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We don't want to set that example. Give me Judith 8:24. Judith 8:24. Judith in the Apocrypha. We gotta be that example, bro. You know. And if you gotta go, hey, listen. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Like I said, we ain't. All right.
The book of Judith, chapter 8 and verse 24. Now therefore, O brethren, let us show an example to our brethren.
That's what it's about, bro. Because guess what our example is nowadays? Freaking. Yeah, turn on your TV, man. You got
Cardi B.
Charleston White, Cardi B,
Gorilla.
Bad Bunny,
Glorilla.
Glorilla. You know what I mean? Those are our examples. Entertainers,
Pastors.
ball players, athletes. Where's the godly examples at? We're the gods of the earth.
That's right. That's
You know what I mean? But we ain't showing ourselves as a godly example. You know? You got me?
The book of Psalms, chapter 82 and verse 6. I have said, ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High.
He's saying that to our forefathers. He's saying that to us. We're gods and children of the Lord. But watch this. If we're doing what we're supposed to do, that's the state we're gonna be in. But when we going off, watch this.
But ye shall die like men.
That's what we living in today. You know what I'm saying? Adam wasn't supposed to die. You know what I mean? So, guess what? Now we got to come back. We got to come back to that. Give me Deuteronomy 30. All right, because the solution. I'm giving you some solutions, right? You know, marry the sister. You know what I mean? You've been dealing with her for a minute. You might as well marry her. You know what I mean? You know? Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass,
It will happen. This is future prophecy, but we're about to read.
when all these things are come upon thee,
When all these things come upon us, read.
the blessing and the curse,
The blessing and the curse. Now, I showed you a lot, but one thing I didn't really go into with you was the curses. The curses is a sign that let us know we are the Israelites, bro. I got to give them one. I know. Give them Deuteronomy 28:49. That's a banger real quick. You speak Spanish? Okay. Where does Spanish come from? Spain. Other side of the world, right? We're in the Western Hemisphere. Spain's in the Eastern Hemisphere. Who does this sound like? Watch this. Read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
So this is one of the curses that we're reading that came upon the Israelites for breaking the commandments. Remember, Moses got the commandments from the Lord at Mount Sinai, came down from the mountain and gave them to the Israelites. And so he read basically the ramifications. If you keep them, this is going to happen. If you break them, this is what's going to happen. So we're reading what happens if you break them. Read it again.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth,
Spain is on the other end of the earth, right? Read.
as swift as the eagle flieth.
Because their symbol back then was the eagle. What's the symbol in America today? The eagle. All right. What's the symbol? Here you go. What's on the Mexican flag? There's an eagle on the Mexican flag, right? Check this out. Rome, eagle. Spanish coin, eagle. American, eagle. It's because they're all the same race of people. They're still rolling over us to this day. So it said as swift as the eagle flies. That lets you know who's ruling. That's their symbol. All right, the eagle. Watch this.
A nation whose tongue,
What's the tongue going into? Exactly, the language. So it said a nation whose tongue.
thou shalt not understand.
Now, I know you've been here for a minute, but when we was going over some of that history, I told you they came over here with Hebrew interpreters. That's because guess what? our people wasn't speaking Spanish at that time. We didn't understand them. That's why they came with Hebrew interpreters, bro. You understand? That's one of the, watch, keep reading.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old.
They would not regard the person of the old. This is what you see right here. A conquistador. You got a conquistador right here. You got our forefathers being burnt alive, slow cooked, tortured. No regard for the person of the old. Read.
Nor show favor to the young.
Nor show favor to the young. What's going on right here? That's a kid, and what's he doing?
Lead him into another problem.
He's about to throw him up into the wall.
Right.
Yeah, or something. It's about to be bad, right? It's not good. That's what it's saying when it said, should not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. We didn't draw these pictures. These illustrations that you see, this is in their documentation. You know what I'm saying? That picture is out of a book, I believe, called the Accounts of Bartholomew de las Casas. All right? So that's one of the curses.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word, his word, his word, his word.